Today I choose to follow you.
Good morning, it's Thursday, the 9th of March. This is Coffee with God. We're still out here at Zinkwe, and I hope you got a decent cup of coffee, filter coffee again this morning. Still good. If you have your Bibles, we're actually going to look at two scriptures today. The first one is in Numbers chapter 12 verse 3, and then the second one is in Exodus 10 verse 3. Numbers 12 verse 3 is talking about Moses and Miriam and Aaron have a problem and think that they can also call themselves prophets, and why should people only listen to Moses, who was in any case married to a foreign woman. But listen to what verse 3 says. Now, the man Moses was very humble, more than any man who was on the face of the earth. And then the Lord calls them out, and he puts Miriam and Aaron in their place. But do you hear what it says here? Now the man Moses was very humble, more than any man who was on the face of the earth. I think of Moses, and I remember someone who God called and he said, but I can't speak, but who can I say is sending me? I stutter. He was so intimidated. He was a timid person, and God finds him in the back part of a desert, watching his father-in-law's flocks. And God says to him, I want to use you, humble man, but let me show you who you are by what's in your hand. And I will send you, and I will speak through you, and I will use you to set my people free. So we have a wrong perception of humility. Humility is knowing who you are in God's eyes and allowing God to use you to the fullest of your ability and capability, as well as the fullness of your potential. Om nederig te wees is om te weet wie jy is in God en hoe God jou kan en wil en sal gebruik. Dis nie om die hele tyd in die woestyn te bly en skape op te pas. Dis te gaan waar God jou wil hê, waar God jou wil stuur, en om te sê wat God jou wil sê om te sê. Now, in contrast to Moses, who was a very humble man, the humblest man on earth, look at what is said about Pharaoh in Exodus 10, also verse 3. Moses and Aaron went to the Pharaoh and said to him, Thus says the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, how long will you refuse to humble yourself before me? Let my people go, that they may serve me. And Pharaoh refused to see himself in God's hands. Pharaoh refused to say, let the will of God be done through me. A humble person says, God, have your way. God, come and work in and through me. And it tells us in the New Testament that God opposes the proud, but he exalts the humble at the right time. So what's the challenge today? How do you see yourself? Are you humble before God, or are you proud before God? How does that look in your life? Is God able to use you and send you and use you for great things? Make you a father of a nation and help you set countless people free? Or are you just going to keep ruling on your throne, in your kingdom, under your authority, and feel the wrath and ultimately the death that God will bring across your life? Where you lose everything. You go through 10 plagues. You lose the firstborn. You chase after. You get killed yourself together with all your mighty strong men. Everything that you hold on to, everything that you think gives you power, God can remove in an instant. The bank balance, the title, the position, the authority. You can wake up tomorrow morning and it can all be gone through whatever circumstances. Think back to March of 2020, when we woke up to absolute lockdown. Strange things can happen. Moses, backwoods, back of a desert, looking after sheep. God says, go to the mightiest man on earth and set my people free. And that mightiest man on earth eventually loses everything, including his own life, God opposes the proud, but exalts the humble. Think about it. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this filter coffee and have a wonderful Thursday.